Okay, ready to go? All right, good afternoon. My name is Councilor Green. This is the Standing Finance Committee meeting. I'm joined by Councilor Paniagua, Council President Hudson, Councilor White, Councilor Bay, and Councilor Hogan. And the first two items are related to settlements with the city. So we won't discuss those here. We'll discuss them in executive session. Are the members of the Finance Committee comfortable with those two items?
Yep.
Okay. So the first two are good. The third one is an IT-related item with Dave here.
I could take it, but basically our IT services, we were out of contract for a period. We just did an RFP. We got a bunch of responses. We're kind of filtering through that. There's going to be there'll be a few companies that get hired via that, but this is basically asking permission relatively retrospectively for the two incumbents that have been doing it that probably should have had this process happen earlier. So,
Any questions on this item?
Sorry, Councilor, maybe. Tim, can you break that down a little bit for me? I mean, I don't really understand exactly what you're saying about it being retroactive and should have happened.
so I don't have the letter in front of me, but the way it's, we use a couple consultants for IT services when we have a problem that we can't handle with our staff. We just did an RFP to have a new one, but we're in the middle of it, so we have all the responses. We had 28 responses, so we're going to hire a couple companies that we'll be able to use on an hourly rate for different services. But we probably should have done it, I don't know the exact date, 6 months ago or something. So there's a time period for which they were out of contract, but basically working. So this is us asking, I don't know if it's permission or forgiveness or both, but something along those lines.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other questions? Or is everyone comfortable moving this item?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, the next one relates to Pomeroy appraisers.
Good afternoon, councilors. This is a hiring of an appraiser to do an appraisal on a property where we've been a number of years of litigation. We've been sued over the assessed value, and this was the we usually send out a letter to a number of the appraisal organizations in town and actually in the surrounding area, and this was the only bid that we got back. So this is the one that we took. Are there any questions?
What was our feedback as to why no one else was interested, do you think?
They're busy. That's what I've found out from some of them. Some of them are no longer doing certiorari work because it makes them sometimes go into court and have to defend their appraisal. It's a lot harder than if you're just doing an appraisal for something like a sale of a property where they don't. The appraisers are not put on the stand and grilled by the other side's attorney.
Are there other appraisal companies that do a lot of work locally for other municipalities?
Yes, we send out to all the commercial appraisal organizations in the area, usually about 10 to get a response. Sometimes we get multiple responses. In this particular case, we only got one.
Other questions? Okay. Is everyone comfortable with this item?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Next one is a budget transfer.
So this is just a relatively small transfer, end of year. There were a couple small settlements in law. I think that one's $25,000 that we asked for. And then OHA, if you'll remember from the previous meeting, we gave them their $15,000 for fiscal year 21. And when they came to ask for that, we all realized that some of their paperwork fell through for fiscal year 20. So they didn't get paid. probably because of COVID and transitions in the budget office. So this is us paying them that money.
2 years, right?
So we paid the current years, the previous time, the 15,000, and the amount the year before had been 20,000. They didn't come, so this is us paying them what we probably should have paid them what we should have paid them in fiscal year 20. So a year ago, we really should have been paying this a year ago. And I think Greg Tripoli will be around in the other meetings if you have questions for OHA again.
Questions on these two items? Okay, everyone comfortable?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and I believe those are all the items, so we will close the meeting. Thank you.